441, the pivotal Game 5 of this year's NBA Finals tipped off last night at Chase Center in San Francisco. Boston versus Golden State. Warriors take control right out of the gate. Andrew Wiggins blocks Jaylen Brown from behind starting the break, and on the other end, Draymond Green fakes the pass and drives for the two-handed jam. Celtics trying to keep pace. Jason Tatum knocks down the turnaround elbow jumper. Warriors in control, up 51-39 at the break. Third quarter, Celtics come out hot from the distance. Tatum knocks down his third three of the quarter to cut the lead all the way down to one. Then Al Horford drains a triple, and the Celtics take their first lead of the game, 58-55. At one point, Warriors had missed 14 straight three-pointers at the third quarter. Otto Porter Jr. banks in a three to give Golden State a 75-74 lead heading into the fourth. And the Warriors carry the momentum into the fourth. Klay Thompson gets free from Marcus Smart for a wide open three, and it's good for an 8-point lead. Thompson finished with 21. Wiggins led the team with 26. Golden State outscores Boston 29-20 in the fourth to win it, 104-94. Warriors now lead the series 3-2. All right, so now we're on to Game 6. That's right. It tips off Thursday, 8 o'clock, right here on KSAT 12. Warriors now lead the series 3-2. Stephanie Cerna's Texas Longhorns heading to the College World Series after two rain delays in their last game against East Carolina. Number 9 seeded Longhorns now scheduled to face off against Notre Dame on Friday. This is the 38th time in school history the team has advanced to the College World Series.
This team is so built for anything that's thrown at us. We've known it since the start of the season with all the adversity that we faced. So honestly, we handled it exactly how we would handle it, just calm, relaxed, but knew what we needed to do, turn the switch back on when we needed to, and go back out there and keep putting that pressure on them, and that's what we did.
Texas will play Notre Dame, who knocked off number 1 seed Tennessee Friday at 6 o'clock. Justin, did I hear you mention something about A&M as well?
Yes, they will be there as well.
Okay.
They were the first to punch their ticket.
Okay. Oh. Aggies and Longhorns, both in the College World Series.
Oh, yeah, we could meet up, too.
Yeah.
Be good.
All right. Yeah. That would be a heck of a series, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go Horns.
We threw bias out the window.
Yeah.
443, or actually very biased, 443, 79 degrees.
Coming up next, some key ways you can save some money on your air conditioning bill.
Go Aggies.
Time now, 4:46. With energy prices continuing to rise, many Americans will pay a lot more to cool their homes this summer. However, there are some ways to save money. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, how to save money on your air conditioning bill. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, many regions across the country are seeing price hikes.
The price will continue to drive higher.
But experts like Scott Fisher with Seal, an energy efficiency company, say there are ways you can save money this summer. Fisher's biggest tip? Perform an energy audit, where you or a technician examine the entire home for energy inefficiencies.
That audit will provide you with a list of recommendations, things that are specific and unique to your home. You can go ahead and install or upgrade.
And if you use a window cooling unit, Fisher says isolate areas you want to keep cool. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more expert tips to save you money while you keep cool. With your GMA First Look, I'm Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide. I saw earlier some flashing lights off of Loop 410 and Ingram Road. We'll be checking in later. I-37 at Fair Avenue looks good right now.
Well, of course, there's that theory that the number 13 is a rather unlucky number. Justin Horn is here to jump in and chime in on that number.
I mean, yeah.
Because it kind of is in this context,
It represents some unlucky fortunes for us so far this late spring. We're not even in the summer yet. I keep wanting to say summer, but we're not there yet.
Not officially.
Feels like it.
Not officially. 13 days so far this year where we've reached 100 degrees. Yesterday, we tied another record. And we've been pointing this out, that 2009, 2011 were our biggest years when it came to 100-degree days. We're going to be right in the mix. I'm almost sure of it at this point, the way things are going. And we're already ahead of schedule here, ahead of pace. So today, probably near 100. Now, my hope is that tomorrow, because of this swirl you see here in Mexico, now this is water vapor, so what it does is it shows us the twists in the atmosphere where we may have some high and low pressure systems, and this is the middle part of the atmosphere. We're watching this area of low pressure right here in Mexico. A lot of times when you get an area of low pressure, you can get a little bit of lift and then maybe some showers. As this moves north tomorrow, I think there's an outside chance we could see a shower or two. Like, it's not a great chance, and as I said yesterday, most of us are going to stay dry, but at least it's something. It's something. And as we look at the computer models here, this lifts north by 6 p.m. tonight. We're starting to see some showers out in Mexico. And then tomorrow, as it gets just a little bit closer, there is that 10% chance of rain. I think the best shot is going to be west of San Antonio. And that'll continue through the day. But anything we see is going to be very, very spotty. And it's probably not going to put down much rain. We'll keep our fingers crossed that that rain falls on your backyard or mine. What if you win the lottery? You may get a little bit of rain coming up tomorrow. The current setup, we have a ridge of high pressure sitting over the eastern half of the country. Severe weather yesterday. A lot of gusty winds with some storms stretching from Cleveland down to the nation's capital. Still some storms this morning. We mentioned that 10% chance of rain tomorrow as high pressure stays up to the east. Builds back west on Thursday, so our temperatures come back up a little bit. And then on Friday into Saturday, tries to lift north a bit, and there's a little disturbance that works underneath that ridge and moves in Friday into Saturday. Some 10% rain chances there too. Like tomorrow, anything we see is going to be light and few and far between. So it's nothing to get too excited about, but at least there's a little bit there. Meantime, in the tropics, we're watching this area down here near Panama. So this is the Caribbean here, a little area of disturbed weather. Hurricane Center thinks there's a pretty good shot that this is going to develop. 40% chance, in fact, as this works north, something to watch. But I think with the ridge where it is, most of this moisture is probably going to stay south of us. Also out in the eastern Pacific, so we switch oceans here, we have a new tropical depression. It's pretty weak right now. It'll strengthen probably into a hurricane, but stay out over the ocean, not causing really any problems. Outside, 80 degrees, cloudy skies, no cool down this morning. We're still getting some gusty winds, 70s and 80s for the most part. You'll find temperatures near 80 here around Bexar County. And gusty winds still, gusting to 22 at the airport, gusting to 18 Bernie Stage. Our forecast today, KSAT 12-hour forecast, 78 degrees, 6 o'clock, mostly cloudy at 7 a.m. We'll start to break out into partly cloudy skies by lunchtime, 91. And by the afternoon, we're up around 100. So we're taking off a degree from yesterday's numbers. And then tomorrow, 99. How about that? We're below 100. That small chance of rain. I'll also caution you, Thursday and Friday, we're going to get another plume of that Saharan dust. This looks to be a little thicker. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like my sinuses were kind of feeling it yesterday. So late in the week, if it's something that bugs you, be aware of that.
You're not alone. I heard some people saying that as well, that it seemed like there was something else either other than the cedar and
the regular allergy stuff.
The regular allergy stuff we deal with around here. All right, but that swirl to our south does definitely look promising.
It's exciting to see something out there.
Something is better than nothing.
Yes, I agree.
452, 79 degrees.
Up next, a lonely inventor builds a robot for a company and ends up with more than he bargained for in a new surreal comedy.
We'll take a closer look right now. Your lottery numbers. Pick 3740 Fireball 3. Daily 4 number 0641 Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 17, 21, 23, 25, 31. Your text is two-step 1, 3, 14, 23. Bonus ball 7. And your Powerball numbers 2, 27, 42, 44, 51. Powerball 25, Power Play 2.
Five Till, an offbeat new comedy, looks at the power of connection and companionship.
CNN's David Daniel has a look.
My name's Brian. This is my infamous inventions pantry. It's actually a cowshed.
A lonely would-be inventor in North Wales is as surprised as anyone when his latest creation actually works in the comedy Brian and Charles.
Would you like me to give you a name? Tony? Charles?
Charles.
Charles?
Charles.
You like that name, do you?
Hello, Brian.
Hello, Charles. It's lovely to meet you. This is incredibly overwhelming.
Writers and stars David Earl and Chris Hayward developed the characters in comedy clubs, making the film presented new challenges.
I'm holding the head on a stick. I have one arm sticking out of one side. I'm wearing an enormous pair of trousers. I'm wearing plates of armor on my shins. I can't really see where I'm going.
So I enjoyed the fun of him bashing into doorways and having to guide his hand like a little toddler.
I want to sit in the front, Brian.
No, you're not sitting in the front, you're sitting in the back.
I will sit in the front.
You'll sit in the back.
Front.
Stop saying front.
Front, 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 front.
Members of the crew would sometimes say, "Oh, look, Charles looks really sad there." Or, "Look at Charles, he's so happy." And yet obviously the face never changes.
I am your friend, Brian.
I'm your friend too.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And if you missed it, it's called Brian and Charles.
I did miss that. Thank you.
No problem. 457, 79 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, new details on how police officers prevented a suspected gunman from getting inside a summer camp facility in North Texas.
There's some very scary moments there. Plus, Sony is releasing a high-end version of its legendary Walkman. We'll tell you how much it'll cost coming up in your morning Tech Bites.
I miss those. And taking a look outside with TransGuide, looking there at Loop 410 at New Braunfels Avenue where things are clear. And then Loop 410 at Marbach looks pretty good for right now too. But we will be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos, who is in the studio right now very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, there are new questions about what law enforcement did during the shooting inside the hallways of Uvalde's Robb Elementary.
Plus, new details after police near Dallas shot and killed a suspected gunman after he entered an athletic complex where summer camp was taking place.
Outside with live cam, and Justin is tracking potential rain chances for this week. We'll talk more about that coming up. But first, it is Tuesday. It is June 14th. We begin with late-breaking news this hour. A house fire on San Antonio's north side has turned deadly. San Antonio fire crews say they tried but could not save a woman.
They are working in a neighborhood near San Pedro and Jackson Keller and the 100 block of Rio Vista Drive. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, what can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that firefighters have confirmed that there is a fatality, a woman who died in this house here behind me. Now, any other details, we are waiting for the public information officer to arrive and give us those. We did have a chance to talk to a neighbor across the street. She says she was coming out to go to work right around 4 o'clock this morning. She noticed the fire. She called 911. She did mention that the woman's dogs, apparently at least one of the dogs, they were able to get a hold of and hold on to as firefighters began working on this house fire. But again, we don't know how this started. We don't know really anything else, whether anyone else was inside this home at the time. All of that information is to come from a public information officer. Neighbors do say that there is a woman who lives in this house alone, just with her pets. But again, waiting for confirmation from the fire department. Reporting live on the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And yesterday was another hot day. Temperatures were near 100 again here in San Antonio. It was another record, or at least we tied one. Take a look at the numbers across the state yesterday. 101 here in San Antonio, 105 in Del Rio, both tying records. Abilene too. So this heat is unrelenting. We will see the numbers drop off a little bit in the coming days. 79 right now in San Antonio, 80 Gonzales, 78 Hondo, 75 in Kerrville, and a lot of upper 70s here around Bexar County at this hour with some cloud cover and some gusty winds this morning too. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 80 degrees at 8 a.m., mostly cloudy. We will see some breaks in those clouds by noontime, 91. And yes, we will be back up around 100 this afternoon with those southerly winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. As I mentioned earlier, the one bit of good news, we're watching a little bit of a swirl down there in Mexico. This is going to lift north tomorrow and maybe just enough to get a couple of showers going by tomorrow afternoon. So we do have some very small rain chances in the forecast on Wednesday. We'll talk more about that, plus the Saharan dust. It makes a big comeback by the end of the week. We'll check in on that too. But now let's go over to Stephen. Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning, Justin. Well, let's get a look at the morning commute right now. Things haven't been looking too bad from these TransGuide cameras. 90 west at Zarzamora, we know that's a pretty busy area, as well as I-10 at Proban. So if your plans are to head out in the next few moments, well, the good news is you are in luck because there's virtually nothing to talk about. And that's exactly what we're seeing here on these TransGuide cameras. Basically nothing, but you can see that there are still some folks out there getting their day started early with us. So just always remember to follow the rules of the road. Let's go ahead and take you to the map because that's basically what we're seeing here as well, but this is new. So I just saw this as Justin was talking. A crash popped up off of 410, and that should be in the southbound lanes. Need to call our friends at TransGuide, get some information on that. Maybe we can get a view at the conditions, but right now it is still early enough to where we're not seeing any issues on the lanes of traffic in that area. So we'll have to watch it closely, have an update as the morning does go on. But as far as those travel times right now, things are looking okay as well. 25 minutes on I-10 coming in from those eastbound lanes from Bernie. Now a 28-minute drive time if you are traveling on 281 southbound from Bulverde. So a little bit of a slowdown there, but things aren't looking too bad on I-35 with 25 minutes coming in from New Braunfels in those southbound lanes. So everything looks fine so far, but again, these back here at TransGuide, quiet roads, but we know we have active construction spots. We're going to take a closer look at that crash and give you those updates coming up a little bit later on. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. This morning, new question about what law enforcement did and did not do inside the hallways of Uvalde's Robb Elementary. This says a gunman was locked inside a classroom.
Sarah Costa joins us now with the details. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Steph. And it was the Express News that first reported this. KSAT has since confirmed that at any given time, 2 to 13 DPS troopers were inside Robb Elementary as a gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers. We talked to State Senator Roland Gutierrez, a Democrat who represents Uvalde. He says information directly from DPS Director Stephen McGraw that DPS troopers were on the scene and inside the school in Uvalde and allegedly did nothing, even though some of them had ballistic shields, and McGraw regretted, quote, standing down. The state senator who represents Uvalde says this raises many questions that no one has been able to answer, including why DPS didn't take over command of the shooting scene from Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo. Now, Gutierrez has been very public in his calls for Governor Greg Abbott to call a special session on gun and mental health reform and on the lack of transparency in the updates about this investigation. Gutierrez was not asked to join the special legislative committee designed to make legislative recommendations in response to the Uvalde shooting. Now, that special committee was put together by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Gutierrez has called this, quote, a slap in the face to the people of that community. Gutierrez will be our guest for KSAT Q&A today during our 6 o'clock news. Mark and Stephanie.
Sarah, now to a shooting at a summer camp in Duncanville, just outside of Dallas.
We are now hearing from some of the kids who were rushed to safety after the gunfire erupted. ABC's Rihanna Nally has more.
This morning, families in Texas thankful their children are safe after a man entered a summer camp armed with a handgun.
He had texted me and said, Mom, I think someone's entered the field house with a gun.
150 kids were inside the Dallas area facility when police say the gunman fired at least one shot inside the building. Quick thinking camp staffers heard the shot and jumped into action, ushering the children to safety.
They just told us to stay quiet, and we were in the men's room, so there were showers in there, so we hid in the showers.
One camper says he turned to his faith.
I was praying to God just so nothing will happen, so nothing bad won't happen.
Police say they were at the scene 2 minutes after the first call came in. Officers exchanging gunfire with the suspect inside a gym. He later died at the hospital. Parents rushed to the scene, relieved to find no one else was injured.
I'm just thankful that my son is alive and no harm was brought to him or any of the kids at the rec center or their staff.
The mayor crediting the officers' recent active shooter training for their quick action.
We're thankful for their training, that they do exactly what they're trained to do.
Police say it's unclear if there was an intentional target inside or if this was a random attack. Rihanna Nally, ABC News, New York.
Well, back here at home, dry conditions helped flames spread easily last night near the Wilson County-Bexar County line. Happened near Floresville and FM 2579. It burned about 80 acres. Bexar County firefighters trying to keep it from getting worse. We don't know what caused the fire, but leaders are reminding everyone that no outdoor burning is allowed.
And Medina Lake is another example of how bad our drought conditions are at this time. It's only 15% full. So look at those boat docks. Instead of being surrounded by water, they are sitting on limestone. Mike Kendrell owns a water sports business in that area. He says low water levels are also bad for his bottom line.
The traffic going by my shop on the road front, it's down 80%.
Kendrell has worked in the area for more than 30 years. He only remembers one time when Medina Lake was this low. That was back in 2013. It was just under 4% full.
Oh, we remember it well.
I remember that as well.
And then it filled back up over time. Yeah. Tough times, folks. 509, about 78 degrees.
And still ahead, Amazon is getting set to launch drone delivery. We're going to tell you when and where.
Up next, a closer look at how the drought is affecting the Edwards Aquifer and the surprising real reason behind water restrictions.
And taking a look outside with live cam, some of the benefits of waking up early. You wake up to 78 degrees, not so bad right now, but that unrelenting heat will continue later today. We'll be right back.
Traffic and weather still coming up right now, about 5:12. Welcome back. The Edwards Aquifer, of course, crucial to our environment and our water supply.
And with the drought that we're in, it could certainly use more water. However, the water supply that is for you to drink and use is not the reason we're under water restrictions.
A lot of people are very surprised that the limits that we have on watering are actually for these tiny little critters.
And those critters dictate a lot about how the aquifer is regulated. There's even a backup population of the Texas blind salamander, just in case the worst should happen. In this week's KSAT Explains, we take you inside an aquifer cave and go in depth, quite literally, on how the aquifer was formed and how it functions today. You can watch the full report online right now on our website at ksat.com.
Such an interesting topic. 513, 78 degrees.
And still ahead, how the Apple Watch will soon be able to monitor for Parkinson's disease symptoms.
And Sony releases an ultra high-end Walkman MP3 player. We'll tell you how much this will cost you.
Good checkup? No, great checkup. Oh, thank you, Doc.
For great checkups, Crest has you covered. Because Crest Pro Health protects 100% of your mouth for 24 hours.
I mean, we're talking Dental Hall of Fame.
Now from Crest Pro Health, new Densify.
Like bones, your teeth lose density over time, but Crest has you covered. Crest Densify actively rebuilds tooth density to extend the life of teeth.
Crest, the #1 toothpaste brand in America.
Before Nexium 24 Hour, Anna could only imagine a comfortable night's sleep without frequent heartburn waking her up. Now, that dream is her reality. Nexium 24 Hour stops acid before it starts for all day, all night protection. Can you imagine 24 hours without heartburn?
How can you tell which one's the better deal?
Bring in Dad from Sarasota.
Dads are great, but let's say, show me the Carfax value. You'll get the most accurate price based on the vehicle's accident history. Shop at the all-new Carfax.com.
You see the dad with the socks and the sandals on in the commercial? It was cute. All right, Amazon will begin drone delivery in California later this year. ABC's Veronica Miracle has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, drone deliveries in Northern California. Amazon is launching Prime Air outside Sacramento. Packages 5 pounds or less will be delivered to customers within an hour. Amazon says the drones have safety systems to avoid obstacles, including other aircraft. The FDA has cleared the way for the Apple Watch to be used as a tool for patients with Parkinson's disease thanks to its motion sensors. The agency granted approval to a digital health startup to pair its software with the watch. It will track symptoms such as tremors and allow doctors to access that data. Finally, Sony is out with a new high-end Walkman. The MP3 player costs $3,700. It uses gold to improve sound quality. There's also a $1,400 version. Both models are compatible with most music streaming services. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Pretty pricey stuff.
Yeah, it looks cool.
We'll need a payment plan for that.
Yeah, but for me, the problem would be carrying two things, a phone and a Walkman. I'd rather have it all in
That's true. Well, you could run with the Walkman and no skipping, like we were talking about the old days. The old Walkman with the CD.
With the CD player.
That would never. You couldn't like.
You're running like this.
You had to carry it like it was a box of nitroglycerin.
Yes, times have changed.
5:18.
Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos, and he will not be running with the CD player. I'm sure.
No, I don't run at all. So,
oh, there you go.
That's a no for me on both fronts. But I've never had a Walkman. But I'm not going to pay $3,700 for one. Holy Toledo. Well, listen, enjoy the music in your car right now because that's a great place to enjoy it. Not going to have any trouble right now for that early drive. There is 1604 at Pat Booker. This is my favorite time of the day because there's really not a lot to talk about. And if you're driving in this early, just remember to follow the rules of the road. There's nothing major that's going to slow you down just yet. So we got to make sure that we are careful out there this morning because the only thing that we're spotting right now is a little bit of a slowdown, but it looks like a crash that I mentioned earlier has cleared out. Now, this is over off 410 near Rigsby Avenue. There's no TransGuide cameras that could pick that up, unfortunately, but we are seeing just a slight slowdown in the southbound lanes of 410. So just keep that in mind if you have to travel through the area. Now let's go ahead and give you that wide look at the map, and you can see nothing else to talk about, but we mentioned some road work or bridge work that was taking place over on the far east side of Bexar County near I-10. Now this bridge work has been taking place. It started overnight, but should be wrapping up according to KSAT. That should be around 5:30 this morning. So give crews some time, but keep in mind if you still have to make your way through there, full closure of the main lanes in both directions right there at FM 1518. So just make sure you have your phones handy as well. Open your camera app and scan this QR code. There it is. Tap the center of your screen. That will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page. And of course, that has the latest list of closures that are taking place in your area. And just don't forget to scroll to the bottom of your screen. Guys.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you. A lot of dust there behind you.
I was going to say, if drought conditions continue, we won't need Saharan dust around South Texas, will we, Justin?
You're not kidding. And speaking of running, it's really hard to do these days if you're doing it outside with the heat, and then you got the dust to contend with. It's not so fun. We've got our plume of dust that moved through yesterday. You could really see it in the atmosphere, kind of a hazy scene. I'll tell you, as we go forward in time, we'll see a little bit of a break midweek. So tomorrow, a little bit less dust, but Thursday, we get a pretty good plume here. So this is to the point where if it does bug you, this is a day you may want to avoid being outside. It's going to be fairly hazy, and that probably sticks around through Friday. We'll see the air quality come down a little bit, and then by the weekend, this should clear out. But there is another plume out here over the Caribbean that we've got to watch that may move in next week. So these plumes of dust are getting a little more frequent. As we go outside for you, we've got cloudy skies and temperatures. 79 degrees at the airport, 79 Stinson, 78 Kelly. Clouds are a little thicker this morning. If they can hang around a while longer, maybe we stay below that 100-degree mark today. We'll see. We're forecasting to get right there, right to 100. 75 in Kerrville, 77 in Uvalde, 79 New Braunfels, and 79 Canyon Lake. Temperatures are fairly warm this morning, and the winds are helping that a little bit. We saw some very gusty winds yesterday, some gusts 30 to 35. We'll be in that range today with gusts 20, 25, maybe up to 30. So be aware of that. It'll be another breezy, almost windy day. 78 degrees, 7 o'clock, mostly cloudy. We'll see the clouds break up by noontime, 91 degrees. And then by this afternoon, we're up around 100 yet again. Not a record, but we'll just add to our triple-digit days if we do indeed get there. On water vapor, this is what we've been talking about this morning. Water vapor shows us, the spins in our atmosphere, and we are detecting one here over Mexico. Now, I don't think this does much for us today, but as it shifts north tonight into tomorrow, this may be enough to scare up a shower. Now, it's not a great chance. We still have some control by our ridge of high pressure, which tends to squash things. But if this can be nearby tomorrow, we get a little bit of, obviously we're going to get some daytime heating, then a shower is possible, and our computer models are showing that. So by 6 p.m. today, some showers out in Mexico. And then as we get into tomorrow, there's our chance of showers. Just a 10% chance, but it is there. Most everything we see is going to be light and few and far between. But I'd say San Antonio points west. There is an opportunity, if you get lucky tomorrow, to get a shower or two. Otherwise, the story is our ridge of high pressure, which now is anchored over parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. We mentioned that slight chance of a shower coming up tomorrow, and then as this area of high pressure shifts back over top of us, some pretty hot temperatures Thursday, and then another little disturbance works underneath the ridge Friday into Saturday, which could bring some more slight chances of rain. Again, nothing great, but at least the high is not right over top of us. That always helps. And as we look at the Eastern Pacific, we do have one little system out there, Tropical Depression 2E, also some potential development as you get into the Caribbean. We'll talk more about that later, but nothing that looks like it's going to affect our forecast. 99 Wednesday, 101 Thursday, 100 Friday. There's that Saharan dust, those small chances for rain mixed in there too, Friday and Saturday. We're looking for anything that will switch things up for us.
And we let those flags fly today.
Flag Day.
Every day, but especially today.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Right now we're at 523, 78 degrees.
And coming up next in your morning spotlight, a first look at a Jennifer Lopez documentary, plus a new tune from John Legend.
526. Hey, rock concerts are back in business, except when they're not.
CNN's David Daniel has the latest high-profile postponement in today's Hollywood Minute.
Mick Jagger has tested positive for COVID-19. According to a statement from the Rolling Stones, the 78-year-old frontman experienced symptoms after arriving at a concert venue in Amsterdam, prompting the band to postpone that show. Ironically, Jagger put out a COVID song last year titled Easy Sleazy, which included the line, "Cancel all the tours."
It was hard. I just had a very low self-esteem. I had to really figure out who I was and believe in that and not believe anything else.
Jennifer Lopez takes fans backstage with the new documentary, Halftime. The title refers to her 2020 Super Bowl halftime performance and to kicking off the second half of her life as an artist and a mother. Halftime is now streaming on Netflix.
She's so dope. Wanna be a dope fiend. She showed me what dope means.
New music from John Legend. Dope, featuring rapper J.I.D., is the first single off Legend's upcoming album. He's been teasing the track at his Las Vegas residency, which he returns to August 5th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
527, 78 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, Americans are facing more threats to their finances as stocks transition to a bear market and interest rates may be getting ready to go up.
Better start taking your lunch to work, or rather ahead on GMSA at 6. Millions of kids enrolled in college courses this fall, but many will not walk away from the university with a degree. We have some ways you can help your child find success in college. Making headlines this morning, 3 main economic factors are likely to start affecting America's finances even more. Details coming up.
And taking a look outside with a live cam, we tied a record yesterday. We're going to be checking in with Justin to see what will happen today.
And good morning to you. It is Tuesday, June 14th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good Monday. Let's go ahead and check back with Justin just to see will we get any relief.
Maybe a little bit. At some point, we got to stop setting records here. We've done it 8 out of the last 9 days, I believe. 13 days so far this year that we've been above 100. We are well above pace to set some records here with the most 100-degree days. That doesn't mean we will. Things could change as we get into July and August, but it's not looking great. I will say that. 59 days in 2009, that leads the way. We'll see if we get there. But again, we are ahead of schedule. I've been talking about this all morning, but you know, it's probably the most exciting part of the forecast here. We've got a little swirl down here in Mexico. This moves north tomorrow. Could it generate a shower or two? Yes. Is it going to be widespread? No. Most of us stay dry, but at least it is something in the forecast that could generate a couple showers. That's tomorrow, not today. Today is still going to be a hot one. 79 degrees at the airport, 79 New Braunfels, 78 in Hondo right now. Mostly in the upper 70s. It's breezy out there. It's humid. Gusty winds stay with us today too, and we'll be up around 100 here in San Antonio. That's the forecast high. A lot of places near that mark. But you'll notice temperatures are trying to come down just a little bit. And with that system tomorrow, some added cloud cover, that should keep us below 100. We're going to talk more about the forecast, talk about rain chances. Again, they're not great, but there are some mixed in there. As far as the roads go this morning, the roads obviously are very dry, but are there any issues out there?
We did have one issue earlier, Justin. Let's get a look right now. TransGuide showing us just a few shots. We have it on rotation right now, so we can let you know at home what you can expect if you have to travel through any of these highways. 90 west at Zarzamora, again, one of those busy areas as people are making their way into San Antonio. I-10 at Probant, not looking bad there, but getting a little busier as the morning does go on. And obviously right now quiet, but we can expect some possible bumps in the road as the morning does pick up. So you have to remember to take it easy out there this morning despite the road it's looking calm right now. But let's take you right to the map. We did have that crash off of 410 near the southbound lanes, not far from Rigsby, and that does appear it has cleared out, not seeing to slow down in that direction anymore. So we'll get that off of our map. So no need to worry about that spot if you have to travel through there. But if your travels are taking you right here through the Alamo City, through any of these areas, okay, what's going on with Livonia? 139 minutes. That is not correct. We'll find out what's going on there, but expect a 28-minute drive time. If you are heading in from I-10 westbound, coming in from Seguin, don't expect a 139-minute drive time coming in from Livonia, but we will get you that correct time in just a moment. But 29 minutes if you're traveling in from Floresville. So we'll have to make sure we get the correct times for you, but back here on TransGuide, things have been calm so far. We'll give you more updates coming up in the next few minutes. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, sir. Updating late-breaking news, San Antonio fire investigators are combing through a north side home where a woman died overnight. Her home went up in flames around 4 this morning.
Katrina Weber is live where it happened in the 100 block of Rio Vista, and that's near San Pedro and Jackson Keller. Katrina, what can you tell us about the woman who was killed?
Well, good morning, Stephanie. We just had a briefing from a public information officer, and he just described the woman as being elderly, but was not able to give us an exact age. Neighbors tell us that there is an older woman who lives in this home, who lives here alone, and firefighters say she is the only one who they found inside this home when they responded around 4 o'clock this morning. Now, right now, we do have fire investigators here at the scene trying to figure out exactly what happened. Firefighters tell us that the fire started in the back section of the home. However, they found this woman in another part of the home. So they are not going to speculate on exactly what caused her death. All of that is still under investigation at this moment. They also tell us that they found a couple of pets, a dog and a cat, inside the home, also dead as a result of the fire. There's one dog who you can see right there walking around the outside. That pet did escape the home, but again, 2 pets and the woman who lives here apparently dead after firefighters knocked down this fire. No word yet on what caused it. That also is part of the investigation that is ongoing right now. Reporting live on the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. This morning, the gun debate continues around the country, and now another shooting survivor from here in the San Antonio area is speaking out.
She's calling for change, and Sarah Costa joins us now with the details. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Mark and Steph. And that young mother was involved in a road rage shooting on the northeast side back in December, and now she's fighting for change. Then 21-year-old Rosalina Menchaca was driving with her daughter Mariana, her daughter's father, and his brother on Schertz Road near Thousand Oaks and Warsbach on December 1st. Police say she moved over to let another car pass. That's when someone inside opened fire. Menchaca was shot 8 times. She lost her spleen, some of her intestines, has rods in her spine, and her feet are paralyzed. She was 5 months pregnant. Her son didn't survive. While Menchaca's shooter has never been caught, the Robb Elementary School shooting inspired her to start advocating for gun law changes.
18, you're allowed to buy a gun. I mean, you haven't even started your life yet.
That's our prayer, is for there to be a stop on these gun violence, you know, and for the age to change.
Now, Menchaca feels the bipartisan Senate agreement doesn't go far enough. She believes the age to purchase a firearm should be raised to at least 21. Now, San Antonio Archbishop Gustavo Garcia Sierra says he is, quote, greatly encouraged by the bipartisan framework. The Archbishop has called for tougher gun laws since the Uvalde shooting. He says the dialogues in Congress, quote, must continue to keep our country moving forward, end quote. Now, President Joe Biden has said if voters don't see the changes they expect, they should make their voices heard in the November midterm elections. Mark and Steph.
Thank you, Sarah. This morning, Americans are facing a triple threat to their finances. U.S. stocks have dipped into a bear market.
Also, the Federal Reserve is expected to increase interest rates tomorrow. And as CNN's Amy Kiley reports, some economists say a recession is likely.
Americans might not be smiling about Monday's closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange. These numbers for the S&P 500 signal a bear market. That means the index has dipped at least 20% below its most recent high. Investors are worried about the Federal Reserve meeting tomorrow.
My sense is they'll raise rates a half a point. That's what they've been signaling to us for quite some time.
The reason is inflation. It's hurting more than just the markets.
We're seeing a lot of families come back to the pantry that may have not been using the pantry recently.
We decided not to make any money from gas, so it's going to be a little easy for them. They can save some money.
The White House says it's watching the situation closely.
The way that we see this is that the American people are well positioned to face these challenges because of the economic historic gains that we have made under this president.
Financial advisors remind investors not to panic.
If it's your 401k money and you're putting money away that you don't need for 10 or more years, then these are the things you actually want to have happen. You want to have a 20 or 25 or maybe even a 30% correction into a recession.
Other analysts are hoping for an economic sweet spot.
But I think the Fed has a decent chance, a reasonable chance of achieving what Jay Powell calls a softish landing, either no recession or a very mild recession to bring inflation down.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, the FDA is pushing back against a report linking Abbott Nutrition's baby formula to 9 infant deaths. The news organization eFood Alert published a list of more than 128 complaints connected to formula manufactured at Abbott's Sturgis, Michigan plant. Infants who were fed the formula reportedly suffered illnesses and 9 babies died. But the FDA says there is no specific evidence linking the deaths to the baby formula the infants were fed. The FDA investigated 2 of the 9 deaths, which prompted the nationwide baby formula recall back in February.
According to an autopsy report, the 14-year-old who fell to his death at a Florida amusement park in March exceeded the ride's weight limit by nearly 100 pounds. Tyree Sampson was on the Orlando Freefall Drop Tower ride at Icon Park. The owner's manual for the tower lists the ride's weight limit as 287 pounds. Now, Sampson was 383 pounds. Back in April, a firm hired by the state to investigate the death found adjustments had been made to Sampson's seat and one other. It allowed a bigger gap between the harness and the seat. The firm found the accident was caused by Sampson not being properly secured in that seat. The family has filed a wrongful death suit.
An Iowa woman keeps adding candles to her birthday cake. Hazel Young turns 112 years old this week. Lots of family and friends helping her celebrate. Young says her faith in God is what helps her longevity and keeps her in good health. When Young was born, the president of the U.S. was William Howard Taft, and Arizona had just become the 48th state in the union.
Oh, wow. She looks good.
112.
Happy birthday.
We should all be so lucky.
Yeah.
540, 78 degrees.
And still ahead, how Airbnb is making a new service available for wine enthusiasts.
And from your morning cup of coffee to your lunch break, we're going to tell you how work is getting so much more expensive. We'll tell you why, or just how some companies are raising prices and even downsizing products.
And taking a look outside with live cam. For now, we are at 78 degrees. Things will heat up later, but a little bit of relief maybe tomorrow in the form of cloud cover. We'll be checking in with Justin very soon.
Inflation is making going back to the office more expensive as the cost of your favorite lunch items is going up.
And as CNN's Jen Sullivan reports, it comes as some food and drink companies are quietly shrinking the sizes of some of your favorite products.
The return to office life is growing more expensive by the day. But let's focus on the rising cost of food, from your morning coffee to that lunchtime salad.
I can tell from having the same budget that I had before all of this, I would get less. It seemed like the bags would get smaller and smaller.
The index for food away from home has increased 7.4% over the last year. That's according to a Labor Department report. Prices for food purchased to eat at home rose 11.9%. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that's the biggest 12-month jump since 1979.
It is kind of like a scary feeling because just thinking about what I used to be able to get before all of this compared to what I can get now.
Meanwhile, Starbucks raised prices in the U.S. earlier this year and said costs could continue to rise. And since the start of last year, salad chain Sweetgreen raised its menu prices by 10%. That's according to its recent earnings report. The budget pinch comes as the Fed is expected to announce another interest rate hike this Wednesday to help tame inflation. And as the White House works to bring down those soaring costs,
make no mistake about it, I understand inflation is a real challenge to American families.
Then there's also shrinkflation. The AP reports companies are shrinking packages to deal with rising costs for raw materials, labor, and transportation. For example, Chobani Flips yogurts have shrunk from 5.3 ounces to 4.5 ounces. Bags of Frito Scoops marked party size used to be 18 ounces and are now 15.5 ounces at most retailers. And PepsiCo is downsizing Gatorade bottles from 32 to 28-ounce bottles. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
546, 78 degrees.
Coming up next, how Airbnb is making it easier for wine lovers looking to get away. And welcome back. It's 5:48 in your morning consumer headlines. Airbnb believes it has a perfect spot for the wine lover looking to get away. The online rental marketplace added a new section to its Airbnb categories called vineyards. The company says now guests looking to travel to wine country can actually stay at a winery. The category lists 100,000 vineyards from around the world, and they are all currently looking for guests.
High-end housing sales are cooling down. Sales of luxury homes saw a huge decline, nearly 18% between February and April. A Redfin analysis shows it's the biggest drop since the start of the pandemic. However, it's good news for some buyers because it signals the market may be becoming more balanced and competition is easing up.
Things are looking okay on the roadways. Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
I was going to say they were looking luxurious, but I don't think that's fair to say because we obviously see so much road work that takes place, and we know that causes headaches. But keep in mind, the end game is to create a better area for us to drive in. Let's go ahead and get a look at TransSky. Take that drive around town. 410 at Marbach. There were some flashing lights, and through that shot, you did see a stalled vehicle. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But 281 at Bassey, here at 35 at Benz Engelman, things look quiet as we're inching closer and closer up into that 6 a.m. hour when things really start to pick up. But hopefully we'll have a day like we did yesterday where we really didn't see a lot of problems out there. But as I mentioned, stalls right now. This is the one we showed you on TransGuide. If you missed it, 410 northbound right there near Marbach Road. Not causing any issues, but as a reminder, make sure you check your vehicles and make sure you gas up. I did it this morning coming into work. Wasn't happy about it because of those gas prices, but we definitely want to make sure that we take care of that before we have any travel plans. We don't want to be stranded this early in the morning or ever really. But let's get that wide look at the map, and you can see nothing really much else to talk about. Another crash just popped up in the midst of what I was talking about just now. Find out how that's going to impact your drive time. But we see the main thing we'll probably expect a lot of construction. So taking place over here, traffic signal work, Loop 1604 North Central side. That did start Monday and should be wrapping up on Friday, June 17th. Now this will take place a little bit later on this morning, 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Expecting an eastbound to westbound turnaround closure right there at Loop 1604 and Northwest Military Highway. But back here, things are still quiet. We'll see how things impact, how things change as the morning does go on. But other than that, things have been pretty quiet so far.
Anybody on our team here in the studio pay $100 or more to fill up yet?
About 60 this morning.
Not that much. Not yet.
Justin, no.
What about?
Yet. Yeah, I finally hit it with the truck. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, no.
Finally did. Yeah, it was right at $100 to fill up. And I was on vapor, too. So.
I would say congratulations, but that's not a milestone we want to reach.
That's
nothing to congratulate
about. That was a fun day. But I know I'm not alone there for sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's probably going to get worse before it gets better, too.
Yes, sir.
So they say. We'll see. We know that the weather's kind of in the same boat, right? We've seen those numbers just keep going up. I think we're going to get a little bit of relief the next couple days with some added cloud cover. Right now, 79 degrees, and it is mostly cloudy. Dew point at 72, south-southeasterly winds at about 14, gusting to 23. Winds were pretty gusty yesterday evening. We're going to see another round of that today. 75 degrees, Kerrville, 77 in Uvalde, some 80s still on the map. Mostly upper 90s, though, here around Bexar County. And looking at that wind gust forecast, we'll still see some gusts, 25 to 30, I think, throughout the day today. Maybe even a few gusts a little bit higher than that. That southerly breeze continuing to usher in some moisture, at least during the morning time for sure. Temperature-wise, 78, 7 o'clock, mostly cloudy. We break out in partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies by noontime, 91, and then we're up around 100 yet again. Yesterday we tied a record. records are not in jeopardy today, and we'll get close to staying below that 100-degree mark, but we probably just get there a little bit later today. Water vapor has been showing us this nice little twist in the atmosphere. What does that mean for us? Well, this is down here in Mexico. It is going to move north tonight into tomorrow. And usually, if you're on this side of the area of low pressure, it can be a good thing. Can kick up some showers. Now, I don't think it's a great chance of this happening, but there is an opportunity tomorrow. So we'll put this into motion here. And by 6 p.m. this evening, you'll notice any precipitation is probably well out to our west. But as we get into tomorrow, it is showing a couple of light showers popping up. We're going to put in a 10% chance. Anything's going to be few and far between, and rain chances and rain in general is going to be very light. Even into tomorrow evening, there still could be a few showers around, generally west of San Antonio. We'll keep an eye on the radar. It's something. And it may bring some added cloud cover, if nothing else, which will keep temperatures down just a little bit. High pressure has been really the dominant factor in our forecast. Still there, still sitting over parts of Tennessee and Kentucky this morning. We mentioned that 10% chance of rain tomorrow, so it is there. This is tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Then the high pressure moves back to the west a little bit, so by Thursday, we've got hot temperatures again, not much in the way of rain. But as this moves north, opens the door a little bit for another small chance for rain Friday into Saturday. Again, 10%, nothing great, but chances nonetheless. In the tropics, we've got one little area of concern here. That's going to be moving into the Caribbean. The Hurricane Center gives us a 40% chance of development. Chances are this all stays south of us, all that moisture, but we'll keep an eye on it. We have plenty of time to watch it. And the extended forecast, we're going to go 99 Wednesday, 101, if I can say that, Thursday, 101 Friday, and then some small chances of rain, as I mentioned, Friday and Saturday, with those triple digits essentially hanging around. We'll be right back.
Well, the sun is high in the Texas sky. Many may be looking for a new pair of sunglasses. We have some tips to consider before making that purchase. It's all laid out in this article on KSAT.com. Ahead in the next hour of Good Morning San Antonio, Astros Rangers faced off last night for state bragging rights. We'll tell you who came out on top in the Battle of Texas. And Uvalde CISD getting some help from the Department of Education to help move forward from the tragic school shooting that claimed 21 lives. We'll have more details on that. And Stephen is here keeping an eye on your morning commute, which is now headed towards the 6 o'clock hour. There's I-35 at Benz Engelman. We'll be right back.
New video shows the floodwater danger at Yellowstone National Park. We're going to have more.
And outside with live cam, we'll see how things are looking out there right now. We get ready for another very hot day out here. Not quite as hot yesterday. We'll see if that trend continues.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you. It is Tuesday. It is June 14th.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you had a good Monday. It was. We were excited that it wasn't as hot as Sunday.
Still very hot, but yes. All about perspective here. I was comparing it to a steak, and it was, what did I say, medium rare compared to well done.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. 101 yesterday.
Small victory.
It was better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think next couple of days will be even a little bit better as we get some added cloud cover. You know, the dust has been around too. Made for a beautiful sunset yesterday. We got a picture here from Skywatcher, who always does a great job with the pictures. But this is on our KSAT Connect, and you can see the kind of the colors that this dust brings. We're going to see it let up a little bit next couple of days and then build back in. We'll see a lot more dust, I think, Thursday and Friday. So we'll see some more of these sunrises and sunsets. But it can also bother you if it's something you're allergic to, or the dust, doesn't do good, doesn't do you well. Be aware that it's going to be in place back in the forecast Thursday and Friday. High temperatures yesterday. We got up to 101 here in San Antonio. Tied another record. Del Rio tied a record. Abilene tied a record. So yes, it was hot, but we didn't see as many records broken yesterday as we did on Sunday. And temperatures, as I mentioned, are going to start to come down just a little bit. 78 degrees in New Braunfels, 77 Hondo, 78 right now in Pleasanton, 79 at the airport. A lot of 70s on the map this morning. We've got those gusty winds still too, and it will be somewhat of a breezy day throughout the afternoon. We're thinking right around 100 this afternoon. Some places will be below that number. 100 in Hondo, 98 Bandera, 96 in Kerrville today. We're also watching what's going on just to our south in Mexico. A little swirl in the atmosphere. That may bring us a shower or two tomorrow. We'll talk about that forecast coming up in just a bit. We got to get over to Steven now. Morning commute starting to pick up. What's going on out there?
It definitely has. Justin, at 6 a.m., we are seeing those flashing lights out there. 35 at Martin. Let's get a closer look at TransGuide. You can see that we're not seeing so much of an impact with traffic just yet, but it is a little bit of a slowdown. This is a stalled vehicle that has been reported by TxDOT in the northbound lanes of I-35. Let's go ahead and get a look there from our map where we can see that pinpointed. Actually, forgot to get that on the map right there, but we saw this stall off 410 northbound. But bringing you back to that TransGuide camera, really want to talk about what we're seeing here for just a moment, because those first responders are out there off on the shoulder lane, and you can see vehicles able to make their way by without any trouble. Just remember to move over, slow down anytime you see a stalled vehicle. Still see this stall now. Back to that stall right there at 410 northbound at Marbach Road. That does seem to be the trending issue this morning. But let's get a wide look at the map. Thankfully, nothing else to report just yet. But traveling into San Antonio, those travel times aren't looking bad as well. We're looking at a 28-minute drive time heading on I-37 northbound from Pleasanton, about 30 minutes on Highway 90 coming in from Castroville, and right now at a 16-minute drive time heading in from Lytle. So things aren't bad there, but we'll watch this area closely, hopefully have a better update as the morning does go on. Guys?
Thank you, Stephen. San Antonio firefighters have made a sad discovery inside a Northside home. They say they found a woman dead after putting out a fire there. They've been working the 100 block of Ria Vista near San Pedro and Jackson Keller since around 4 o'clock this morning.
Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, any word on how this fire started?
Actually, we did just get an update, and the firefighters are saying this is something that was completely preventable. They say that apparently there was some sort of a portable air conditioning unit that was plugged into an extension cord, and then that cord was run under a bed. And they believe that that is how the fire started. On top of that, they say there were no smoke detectors anywhere inside this home when the fire broke out. Let me give you a look at some video that we have from earlier this morning. Fire broke out around 4 o'clock this morning. A neighbor told us that she came out to go to work, noticed the fire, called 911. Firefighters got here quickly, but not quickly enough to save the woman who was inside that home. Excuse me. She did die, and they believe possibly related to smoke inhalation. They also found 2 pets dead inside the home, a dog and cat. One dog did manage to escape. But again, fire officials are trying to get the message out that everyone needs to make sure that they have working smoke detectors inside their home, because they say that was a contributing factor here this morning to the death of the woman who they found inside this home. Reporting live on the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Our top story this morning, Uvalde CISD will receive a big boost in emergency funding from the Department of Education.
In addition, Texas lawmakers are hoping to increase funds to all Texas schools before next fall for mental health and school safety programs. Sarah Costa joins us live here in the studio to explain. Good morning.
Good morning, Mark and Steph. So we have federal funds coming in specifically heading to Uvalde CISD already, and state lawmakers in the House and Senate are suggesting a lot more money be redirected to our Texas schools. So let's first start with Uvalde CISD, which will receive $1.5 million in emergency funds from the Department of Education. The money will come from the School Emergency Response to Violence Grant, which provides short-term funds for schools and institutions of higher education that are recovering from a violent or traumatic event that has disrupted the learning environment. The money can be used for activities including mental health services, overtime pay, or additional summer programming over the next 12 months. The Department of Education officials say additional longer-term assistance is available if requested. All right. Texas House Speaker Dade Phelan pitched redirecting more than $100 million in state funding to quickly boost mental health and school safety programs before school starts next fall. His plan came in response to a $50 million request from Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who oversees the Senate, to immediately purchase bulletproof shields for school police departments. The legislature, which sets the state's 2-year budget, is not scheduled to go back into session until January. That means moving funding will require a process called budget execution, which allows lawmakers to take money that's already been appropriated and redirect it to another source. Now, Phelan says lawmakers will have the option to use surplus money in the foundation school program to cover the cost of the new programs without impacting the finances of any school districts in the process. Mark and Steph.
Thank you, Sarah. June is PTSD Awareness Month, and since we are Military City, USA, and with the recent tragic events in Uvalde and around our country, we thought it was important to continue discussions about post-traumatic stress disorder.
Today on GMSA at 9, we'll be speaking with a health professional from UT Health San Antonio about PTSD, the signs to look for, and more importantly, how to help someone that is suffering.
And new details in a story we first brought you on GMSA this weekend. We have learned the names of 2 of the 3 victims in a north side shooting on Sunday morning. 19-year-old Deannie Thomas and 18-year-old Kennedy Brazil were killed when people opened fire on their car at Loop 410 and Blanco Road. A third person was in that car and is currently in the hospital in critical condition. We are told the shooters are still on the run. If you have any information that can lead to arrest, you are asked to call the Castle Hills Police Department.
The House Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol made a wide-ranging case on Monday that former President Trump created and spread the lie that the 2020 election had been stolen from him, even as his closest campaign advisors, top government officials, and his family were telling him he lost. With a gripping testimony, the panel is laying out in step-by-step fashion how Trump ignored everything he was being told and instead latched onto conspiracy theories, court cases, and his own declarations of victory rather than having to admit defeat. The committee has no prosecuting power and hasn't decided yet on making criminal referrals to the Justice Department. Next hearing is scheduled for tomorrow morning and is set to delve deeper into the Capitol attack itself.
Some other top stories that we're following: all entrances to Yellowstone National Park have been temporarily closed due to severe flooding. So just take a look at the video. You can see a building there collapsing in the floodwaters. Other hazards like rock slides and mudslides are also making it unsafe for travel. Coming up a little later on GMSA, we're going to have more on the severe weather that is impacting several areas of the country.
Back here at home, Medina Lake, another example of how bad our drought conditions are. It is now only 15% full. Just look at some of this video from out there at the lake area. That's one of the businesses. Mike Candrell owns a water sports biz. He says water levels are also very bad for his bottom line.
The traffic going by my shop on the road front, it's down 80%.
He has worked in the area for more than 30 years. He says he only remembers the one time when Medina was this low, and that was back in 2013. It was just under 4% full.
And those dry conditions helped flames spread easily last night near the Wilson County-Bexar County line. So this is near Floresville, near FM 2579. About 80 acres burned. Bexar County firefighters are trying to keep it from getting worse. We don't know what caused this fire. However, leaders are reminding everyone that no outdoor burning is allowed.
Well, economists vary on when or if the next recession will come. Experts say the current record level of inflation is taking a huge bite out of American savings accounts. A new survey finds 67% of Americans are now rating their savings to cover rising costs. Another sign of potential problems is credit card debt, which also is seeing a resurgence. On Wall Street, key recession indicators are flashing warning signs, with the S&P 500 index officially entering bear market territory Monday. The Federal Reserve will also likely raise interest rates again during their meeting tomorrow.
And it's been discussed for months now, but Amazon is ready to send up the drones. It has now picked Lockerford, California, northeast of San Francisco, as the first town where it'll make deliveries by drone. No word yet, though, on when that will begin.
Check it out. Sony is out with a new high-end Walkman. I can tell you it's gold and square and looks like kind of like the old one, but sleeker and,
and shinier.
It's beautiful. Yeah, the MP3 player costs $3,700 and it uses gold to improve sound quality.
That's right. There's also a $1,400 version, so a little cheaper.
Right.
Yes.
We'll try to show it to you later on. 6:11 right now, 77 degrees.
And more to come on GMSA. Police are investigating 2 deadly crashes that happened overnight on the south side and on the north side. We're going to have those details.
And millions of kids are enrolled in college courses this fall, but many will not walk away with a degree. We've got some ways you can help your child find success in college.
And Justin's going to have the very latest on our forecast and the severe weather that's hitting other parts of the country.
Outside with live cam right now, and there is a little bit of good news. Justin is going to tell you about a disturbance down in Mexico that may help us out just a little bit. We'll talk about it coming up right here live on GMSA. Welcome back, 6:15.
There are flashing lights there at I-35 and Martin. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Thank you, Mark. Steph, we are taking a look at a stalled vehicle there off 35 at Martin. If you've been with us, you know that we mentioned it a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, we are still seeing those first responders out there working to assist that driver. But this is starting to get pretty busy, as you can see from that TransGuide camera. Now, what's concerning is some of these cars are not moving over. Now, we see a few of them that are also slowing down, but not entirely. So you have to make sure that you follow those rules. Give those first responders plenty of room. Make sure you give that driver plenty of room and share the road with them right now, because it is getting busy. It is that hour where things really start to pick up. But that stall detected in the northbound lanes of I-35, not far from I-10. So if you're making your way into San Antonio, you'll likely encounter that vehicle. So just remember, slow down and move over. Let's go ahead and now give you that wide look at the map. Thankfully, nothing else to talk about, really. There are a few weather stalls that are out there that are being reported, but nothing major that's going to slow you down for that early drive. So just remember, keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the wheel and plan ahead. Loop 410, we mentioned this last week and we're going to mention it again today. That concrete work that's been taking place has led to some closures out on the west side of San Antonio. This is current and should be wrapping on Monday, June 20th. So hang in there. We got a few days to go. It starts at 8 in the morning and wraps around 5 in the afternoon. But we know crews will get out there a little bit earlier to set up. So make sure you give them plenty of room as well. But during those hours, you'll expect alternating closures of the turnarounds in both directions right there at Culebra Road. But if you want to know what's going to be taking place in your area, open your camera app on your phone, scan this QR code by tapping the center of your screen. You know what to do. You know where it's going to take you. That's the KSAT traffic page, and that has a list of the latest closures that are taking place in our area, and of course anything else that could be impacting your drive time. Guys?
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you. We see the dust behind you. I guess we'll prepare for that as well.
Yeah, well, we had it yesterday. You probably saw the sunset was pretty colorful. That's what this dust tends to do. It was hazy yesterday. We'll see some of it today, and then it lets up some before it picks back up by the end of the week. So let's go through the forecast when it comes to that dust. There's the plume right now, kind of falls apart a little bit as we get into tomorrow. And then Thursday into Friday, we see another thick round of this Saharan dust. So it will be hazy for sure, I think, Thursday and Friday afternoon. And if this is something that bothers you, I feel like my sinuses were kind of feeling it yesterday, then be aware. End of the week may not be so great. By the weekend, though, this tends to fade away again, and we'll see clear skies, I think, over the weekend. I want to show you water vapor this morning. We're looking down here in Mexico. We're noticing a swirl here in the atmosphere. This is trying to lift north. And as it gets a little bit closer to us tonight into tomorrow, I think that this could help generate a shower or two. The computer models are hinting at that. Well, it's not going to be a big rainmaker by any stretch of the imagination, but if it could generate at least something and maybe some cloud cover, that could help us out, especially as we get into tomorrow. Here's a look at the forecast. And as we go forward in time here, this is 6 o'clock this evening. Doesn't show much around here. Does show a few showers out in Mexico, but by tomorrow morning, indicates we could see a few showers. There's a 10% chance. That's what we'll put in the forecast tomorrow morning, and that'll continue over into tomorrow afternoon. Again, not a lot. It's not going to put down a lot of rain, but anything we can get at this point is a bonus. And as we look at the big picture here, high pressure is still the dominant factor in our forecast. And in fact, we're seeing some storms round that ridge of high pressure, and there was a lot of severe weather yesterday across parts of Ohio and Virginia. Still seeing some of that this morning. This high pressure will shift back to the west a little bit. So I think Thursday is a quiet day. Will be hot for sure. We're going to see some more triple digits. And then by Friday evening, a little piece of energy comes underneath that ridge. That may kick off a shower or two along the coast. And then we'll have another very small chance on Saturday. So there's some small opportunities here. Certainly not any drought busters, but good to see at least a chance. In the tropics, we're watching an area down here. Hurricane Center's watching areas. We're starting to see more thunderstorms. They're giving us about a 40% chance of development as we get into the next 5 days. We've got plenty of time to watch it. And all indications are that a lot of this moisture is going to stay to our south. But the tropics are trying to get a little bit active. And as you go out into the eastern Pacific, we do have a tropical depression now, Tropical Depression 2E. This is actually going to move away from land and should not be a big deal as it goes out over open water. Live cam outside shows mostly cloudy skies, 79 degrees at the airport, 78 Stinson. We'll see a lot of 70s on the map this morning, some gusty winds too. 78 Stinson, 76 Helotes, 79 Canyon Lake. Wind gust forecast. Winds were gusty yesterday. We'll see that again today. Gusts anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour out of the south. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast. 82 at 9 o'clock. Partly cloudy skies. Mostly sunny at noontime. 91, 96 by 2 p.m. And we'll be right up around that triple-digit mark today. 100, 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Extended forecast. You see those small rain chances in there. Otherwise, Saharan dust. Also a big factor Thursday into Friday. Father's Day. Looks like it will be mostly sunny and warm, around 101, guys.
I noticed the card aisle at HEB was already somewhat picked over for Father's Day cards.
Yeah, well, you can still make one. That would be nice. Coming from the heart.
I got mine.
You got
I
yours?
found the one.
Okay, good,
Yes,
good.
yes.
You're covered.
I am covered. 621, about 77 degrees.
And did you watch any baseball last night? Well, just ahead on GMSA, we're going to tell you who won the battle for Texas.
Welcome back. Time for a quick look at morning sports. The battle for Texas in the majors. Stros Rangers in a primetime matchup last night in Arlington. Early innings, it was all Houston with 3 scores by the end of the second. Things were looking like a dub for the Astros. Rangers come back to life at the end of the game. 3 scores in the 8th, helping them lift them to a win over their in-state rivals. Final from Arlington, Rangers 5, Astros 3. Astros have another shot at the Rangers tonight. Game 2 of their series with Texas. First pitch set for 7:05. Game 3 of the series will be tomorrow afternoon. NBA Finals continue right here on KSAT. Last night, Celtics visiting Golden State in a pivotal Game 5. Both clubs going in tied at 2 games apiece. Steph Curry had a rare off night for Golden State, missing several threes. However, Boston would not take advantage and turn the ball over 18 times. It would end up being a deciding factor. Golden State gets a tough win in Game 5, the final from Chase Center. Warriors 104, Celtics 94. We now go back to Boston for Game 6. Warriors are just 1 win away from another title. Celtics will need the help of their home crowd to force a Game 7. Game 6 tips off Thursday night, 8 o'clock, right here on KSAT 12.
It will be interesting. Time now 6:24 and 77 degrees for now. And ahead in our next half hour of GMSA, the details in 2 deadly overnight crashes on San Antonio's north and south side.
And a woman is dead this morning after a house fire on San Antonio's north side. We will tell you more about that.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide looking there at I-35 at Martin. Things seem clear right now. We'll be checking in later with Stephen Cabasas.
You never know what opportunities life will send your way. But if you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis or psoriatic arthritis, Enbrel can help you say, I'm in for what's next. Ready to create a bigger world? I'm in. Ready to earn that world's greatest dad mug? I'm in. Care to play a bigger role in this community? I'm in. Enbrel helps relieve joint pain, helps stop permanent joint damage, and helps skin get clear in psoriatic arthritis. And with less pain, you're free to join in. Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu. When opportunities come your way, be ready to say, I'm in for what's next. Ask your doctor about Enbrel.
Not long after the school shooting tragedy in Uvalde, police in Duncanville, outside of Dallas, shoot and kill a man who entered a summer camp with a handgun. More details ahead.
Outside with live cam, not quite as hot yesterday, but still just absolutely searing out there. We're going to take a look at a small bump in our rain chances here in South Texas going into tomorrow. And a good morning to you, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is the 14th.
That's right. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. We'll take any relief we can. Even cloud cover would be nice at this point.
It would. All right. So let's talk about this slight bump in our rain chances.
It's the slightest of slight bumps because we're talking about a 10% chance, but that is better than 0. Okay. So we're watching a little system down in Mexico that may be able to generate some showers. And I think it brings some clouds tomorrow too, which cools us down some. Yesterday we got up to 101, another day in the triple digits, 13. If you're keeping count at home, we're well on our way to setting some records here. 2009 was the worst we've seen with 59 100-degree days. We're on pace to get there. Things continue as they are. There's that swirl I was talking about in the middle part of the atmosphere. We can see it on water vapor. Little area of low pressure here that lifts north. That may be just enough to generate some showers tomorrow. Now it's going to be very isolated. Anything we see, and it's probably not going to generate a whole lot of rain. But as I said, something is better than nothing. 74 degrees Kerrville, 77 Hondo, 78 Pleasanton. It's a warm morning. If you're walking outside, it's also sticky, a little breezy. We'll get some gusty winds throughout the day. Some of that Saharan dust is also still around. That dissipates some by the afternoon, but we're going to get another round later this week. So your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 82, 9 o'clock. We're up around 91 by noontime. I'd say mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies this afternoon. I still think we get close to 100 today, if not right there. But tomorrow, as I mentioned, with some of those clouds around, that very small rain chance, I think we stay below the century mark, which, you know, would be nice at this point. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. Let's get over to Stephen now and take a look at your morning commute.
More flashing lights, Justin. Unfortunately, we are seeing those stalls that are popping up. Let's go ahead and show you what we're seeing here at TransGuide. This is actually another stall vehicle that we're picking up from this view. It does appear that the driver is already outside of their vehicle, so you have to be careful out there. It's very early in the morning, but we are seeing traffic that is building up already. So it's that time, guys. I mentioned this a little bit earlier where we really start to see that traffic picking up. But thankfully, no slowdowns you can expect just yet. You can see the map is not really showing a whole lot of red or yellow, just a lot of green, which is good if you're going to be traveling into San Antonio. No major delays, at least at this hour, but we know that can quickly change when people start to get out on the roadways. So as I mentioned, the trending problem has been stalls. As we bring you back here to TransGuide, you can see this is off there near the shoulder lane. We do see a TxDOT Hero truck out there. Now, they're a great service that you can actually use. We'll get more information on that and post that coming up in the next few minutes. But just remember to move over or slow down anytime you see those flashing lights in stalled vehicles. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. Our top story this morning, San Antonio firefighters say a dangerous situation involving an extension cord is what led to a deadly fire at a Northside home.
They discovered the body of a woman after putting out a fire early this morning. This is at a home in the 100 block of Rio Vista near San Pedro and Jackson Keller.
Katrina Weber is there live. And Katrina, you mentioned they also say there were no smoke detectors.
Well, that's right. Firefighters say they did not find one single working smoke detector in this house where they found that woman dead. They also say they believe the fire started because of a dangerous situation, an extension cord that was plugged into an AC unit and then run underneath a bed. Now, firefighters did not find the woman inside the bed. They found her in another part of the home. They have completed their work here, but I want to give you a look at the video from earlier this morning. They got the call about 4 o'clock this morning and say that they did find a fire. They found flames and smoke coming out of this home in the 100 block of Rio Vista. They did find the woman inside, not far away from the door. They say they also found her two pets, two of her pets, a dog and a cat, who were dead. One dog did manage to escape. But again, they say that this is a situation that was preventable because they say those smoke detectors could have alerted her to the fire sooner. And also they point out that the dangerous situation with the extension cord, and firefighters are warning people to please take a look at their homes, make sure they have working smoke detectors and don't have any type of situation that could lead to a fire with results like we saw here today. Reporting live on the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. New this morning, San Antonio police investigating 2 deadly crashes overnight. First one happened just before midnight on South Preston near 410 on the south side. Police tell us the driver was speeding when he crashed into a median, lost control and wrapped his car around a pole. He was thrown from the vehicle and died at the scene.
The second crash happened a couple of hours later on the north side. So this was the scene on Patricia Drive, not far from Blanco Road. Investigators say that a man lost control and also hit a pole. Crews tried to get him out by cutting off the roof of the truck, but it was too late. He also died at the scene. A young mother who was shot in a road rage shooting on the northeast side back in December fought to survive, and now she's fighting for change. Then 21-year-old Rosalinda Menchaca was driving with her daughter, Mariana, her daughter's father, and his brother on Schertz Road near Thousand Oaks and Wurzbach. Police say she moved over to let another car pass when someone inside that car opened fire. Menchaca was shot 8 times. She now has rods in her spine and her feet are paralyzed. She was 5 months pregnant. Her son, Emiliano, did not survive. While Menchaca's shooter has never been caught, the Robb Elementary shooting inspired her to start advocating for gun law changes.
This morning, new questions about what law enforcement did, or more importantly, did not do inside the hallways of Uvalde's Robb Elementary School. This is that gunman was locked inside a classroom.
Sarah Costa joins us now with those details. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Mark and Steph. So it was the Express News that first reported this, and KSAT has since confirmed that at any given time, 2 to 13 DPS troopers were actually inside the school as the gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers. Now, we talked to State Senator Roland Gutierrez, a Democrat who represents Uvalde. He says information directly from DPS Director Stephen McGraw that DPS troopers were on the scene and inside the school in Uvalde at Robb Elementary and allegedly did nothing, even though some of them had ballistic shields, and McGraw regretted, quote, standing down. The state senator who represents Uvalde says this raises many questions that no one has been able to answer, including why DPS didn't take over command of the shooting scene from the Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo. Now, Gutierrez has been very public in his calls for Governor Greg Abbott to call on a special session on gun and mental health reform and on the lack of transparency and the updates about this investigation. Gutierrez was not asked to join the special legislative committee designed to make legislative recommendations in response to the Uvalde shooting. That special committee was put together by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Gutierrez has called this, quote, a slap in the face to the people of that community. Gutierrez will be our guest for KSAT Q&A today during our 6 p.m. newscast. Now, in the wake of the shooting in Uvalde, we're learning more details about a shooting at a summer camp in Duncanville. That's outside of Dallas. This morning, we're hearing from the kids who were rushed to safety after the gunfire erupted. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has this story.
This morning, families in Texas thankful their children are safe after a man entered a summer camp armed with a handgun.
He had texted me and said, "Mom, I think someone's entered the field house with a gun."
150 kids were inside the Dallas area facility when police say the gunman fired at least one shot inside the building. Quick-thinking camp staffers heard the shot and jumped into action, ushering the children to safety.
They just told us to stay quiet, and we were in the men's room, so there were showers in there, so we hid in the showers.
One camper says he turned to his faith.
I was praying to God just so nothing will happen, so nothing bad won't happen.
Police say they were at the scene 2 minutes after the first call came in. Officers exchanging gunfire with the suspect inside a gym. He later died at the hospital. Parents rushed to the scene, relieved to find no one else was injured.
I'm just thankful that my son is alive and no harm was brought to him or any of the kids at the rec center or their staff.
The mayor crediting the officers' recent active shooter training for their quick action.
We're thankful for their training, that they do exactly what they're trained to do.
Police say it's unclear if there was an intentional target inside or if this was a random attack. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
A local mother in disbelief after her 7-year-old son was found alone wandering a busy intersection yesterday afternoon after a mix-up with his school bus. Northside ISD's second grader Bashan Payne was supposed to be picked up from his home and dropped off at summer school. His mother Jackie Jacobs says the bus did not pick up her son, so she drove him to Wernley Elementary, where he is enrolled for summer school. From there, a bus was supposed to pick him up and take him home. Instead, Bashan got on the wrong bus. The driver of that bus dropped him off 4 miles away at Bolt Elementary, the school he attends during the regular school year. We were told Bashan walked away. So Jackie says she got a call from the district that her son was with police after a parent saw her son alone at an intersection on Petranco Road.
Yeah, my thought was like, where's my son, right? Because 20 minutes later, I thought he was at the school the whole time. But yeah, he got put into the cop car in a booster seat.
Northside officials have apologized to his mother, and they are reviewing video to find out what went wrong.
Meanwhile, South San ISD summer school classes had to be cut short yesterday because of sizzling temperatures we've been seeing. Yesterday afternoon, the district confirmed its high school lost power, so parents had to pick up students, and school buses had to begin their routes an hour and 15 minutes earlier than usual.
In this morning's GMA First Look, with energy prices continuing to rise, many Americans will pay a lot more to cool their homes this summer. But there are some ways to save money. That's coming up at 7 a.m. right here on KSAT 12.
The FDA is pushing back against a report linking Abbott Nutrition's baby formula to 9 infant deaths in the U.S. The news organization eFood Alert published a list of more than 128 complaints connected to formula manufactured at Abbott's facility in Sturgis, Michigan. The infants who were fed the formula reportedly suffered illnesses, and 9 babies died. But the FDA says there's no scientific evidence linking the deaths to the formula the infants were fed. The FDA investigated 2 of the 9 deaths, which prompted the nationwide baby formula recall back in February. The agency says even with further testing, they could not definitively attribute those deaths to formula from Abbott.
The World Health Organization is considering a proposal to rename monkeypox, which has affected more than 1,500 people in at least 47 countries. Dozens of scientists signed a document that claims the name monkeypox is discriminatory and stigmatizing. They say that name references the virus's African roots, and that's no longer true since it is in so many nations right now. Renaming the virus would not be out of the ordinary. The WHO did it with COVID-19, which is why variants are now named after letters of the Greek alphabet instead of their earlier names like Wuhan and South African strain.
641, 77 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, some pro tips for helping your child find success in college this fall. And welcome back at 6:45. Millions of kids are getting their high school diplomas this year, and millions more are enrolled and ready to go to college in the fall.
But of those students, not many will actually walk away with a college degree. So how do you set up your child for success?
I think the thing that surprised me most was just being surrounded by a lot of people.
It was really cool to be able to kind of have some more independence, but it was a little nerve-wracking at first.
The academic, social, and emotional stress of college can take its toll. In fact, data shows around 30% of college freshmen will drop out in their first year. However, there are some last-minute preps you can do to help them succeed. First, have them get a summer job. It will help them understand the importance of showing up on time and working hard.
Even if it's not necessarily relevant to a major, just having work experience is something that it's a life experience.
And many college freshmen often say they feel lonely. Right now in summer break is a great time to look ahead and discuss volunteer opportunities and all those campus clubs. More importantly, just make sure you let them know, even though they may be leaving home, you will still be there for them.
And you can also research the university's counseling and peer support groups available to students to ensure that your teen knows where to go for assistance.
Boy, the fall semester is going to be here before we know it.
Very quickly.
It is 6:46 on your Tuesday.
Go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Stalls have just been that problem this morning. We've been seeing a few of them around town, and as we get a wide look at TransGuide, we're seeing one of those stalls. Hopefully, a driver here getting some assistance from one of those KSAT Hero trucks, but it's still out there. This is off US 90 at 36, and we have about 5 that are being reported, at least at this half hour. So keep that in mind when you head out the door in the next few moments. But the wide look at the map, not really showing anything else to talk about. We've mentioned some of those active construction spots, which of course that information is on our website at ksat.com/traffic. But other than that, those stalls have really been posing a somewhat of a pesky issue out there for drivers. So as I mentioned, as a reminder, want to mention the Hero program over with TechStop, because some of the services, now these are just a few of the services. They add gasoline and water, perform minor vehicle repairs, that is, jumpstart batteries, and remove debris on the roadway from crashes. Now keep in mind, if you want to receive help from a TechStop Hero truck, you have to be stranded on a highway. Now that number to call is 210-732-HERO or 4376. Now again, keep in mind that they are there to assist those stranded motorists. We see them out there on the TransGuide cameras. For instance, we saw one out here a little bit earlier, and it does look like that driver is receiving some help, but make sure that you check your vehicles as well before you get your day started. Justin?
Thanks, sir. And we're going to take a look at the dust. You probably noticed it yesterday. That Saharan dust that's been in the upper parts of the atmosphere made for kind of a haze yesterday afternoon. We're going to see more of that today. It lets up a little bit as we get into tonight and perhaps into tomorrow. This is 5 o'clock tomorrow, seeing a little bit less of it. But notice there's a plume just off the coast. That moves in Thursday into Friday, so it's going to thicken up again. And Thursday probably our thickest day when it comes to this, so be aware. If it's something that bugs you, air quality is going to be down a little bit, I think, Thursday and Friday. And that haze will stick around. Now, the weekend, this should start to clear out some, and we'll see less in the way of dust. There is another plume, though, that is out here in the Caribbean that we'll watch for next week. So things picking up when it comes to that Saharan dust. We do see it every summer, but it's starting to maybe, at least the thickness of it starting a little bit early this year. Let's go outside for you. We've got plenty of clouds right now. 79 degrees, dew point at 71. South-southeasterly winds at about 13 miles per hour. 77 Hondo, 75 out there in Uvalde, 81 Carrizo Springs, 78 in Gonzales. A little closer look here at Bexar County. A lot of 70s on the map this morning. Some breezy winds, warm temperatures, and those humid conditions, so temperatures aren't going to fall much. We're not seeing a lot of wind gusts at the moment. It was very windy last night, but the winds will pick up again later today. I'd say in the 10 to 20 mile per hour range. We'll see some gusts a little bit higher than that. Here's what we're watching for tomorrow. There's a swirl in the atmosphere. We can see it here on water vapor. A little area of low pressure. Sometimes this can help to generate some showers, and I think as this moves north tonight into tomorrow, there is a chance we could see a few showers around the area, mainly west of San Antonio. But it's nice to see a little bit of a change in the weather pattern here. This is 7 p.m. this evening. Rain's going to be all out to our west. But as we get into tomorrow, this model does show a couple showers popping up. This is 8 a.m. tomorrow, 10% chance of a stray shower, and that continues right on through the day. Again, best chance will be west of San Antonio. These are not going to put down a lot of rain, and it will be very isolated. But the chance is there nonetheless. Current setup shows our high pressure has moved east a little bit, and that's what is opening the door for that little disturbance to come in. A lot of severe weather across parts of Cleveland and the nation's capital overnight. Some very strong storms, still some rain there this morning. High pressure starts to drift back in our direction, so we have that small chance tomorrow, but by Thursday the rain chance is cut off because high pressure builds back in. Starts to move a little bit north though by Friday, and that opens the door once again as a little disturbance squeezes underneath. Again, 10% chances of rain here. I know it's not great, but it is in the forecast. Very quickly in the tropics, we've got a system trying to develop down here around Central America, and this is going to work its way north. There is a 40% chance of development with this over the next 5 days. Looks like a lot of the moisture with this will stay south of us, but it is worth watching in the coming days. We'll keep you posted. 80 degrees, 8 o'clock, mostly cloudy, 82, 9 a.m. by noon. Mostly sunny, 91, and we top out close to 100 this afternoon. Not as many 100s on the 7-day forecast as we've seen, but still hot nonetheless. 99 tomorrow with a little bit of added cloud cover, 101 Thursday, 100 Friday, and some triple digits over the weekend too.
Okay, we'll take that cloud cover. Thank you, Justin. And just a reminder, if you are planning to spend some time outdoors today, protect your eyes. The right pair of sunglasses is key. First, look for a sticker that says 100% UV protection from all UV light. Also, sunglasses don't have to be expensive to be effective. Drugstore glasses labeled as 100% UV blocking are a better choice than designer glasses that don't offer protection. And larger and oversized lenses are best. Also, people with green, hazel, or blue eyes are more sensitive to light and more susceptible to UV damage.
Didn't know that. Also, sunglasses should be worn outdoors regardless of cloudiness. More than 90% of UV rays can penetrate right through clouds.
Be careful out there. Time now 6:52 and 77 degrees for now.
Well, tomorrow, GMS Air Great Grad Series continues with a student from Southside Independent School District building his own car. We'll tell you more about his big career plans.
And taking a look outside with live cam, looking at 77 degrees for now. Not too bad before it heats up later. We'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. Time now is just about 6:55. Let's get one last look at the road. I-10 at Pro Bend. It's been a morning of stalls. Now, things look like they're moving just fine, but it is getting a little bit busier out there now that morning rush has fully kicked in. Wide look at the map doesn't show much of a congestion just yet, but of course, we can expect that to change in the next few minutes. Justin Horn.
Stephen, thank you. It's still warm this morning. Temperatures in the upper 70s. I think we get up close to 100 today, but maybe a little cooler than yesterday. Good gusty winds. And tomorrow, there's an outside chance for a shower or two, just 10% chance, but a chance nonetheless. More dust by the end of the week, a couple more small rain chances through Friday and Saturday.
Thank you, Justin.
Okay, we'll take it. You guys have a nice day, and we'll see you back here at 9.
Good Morning America is next.